Guys, welcome back to another edition of That Fuzz and Rock Show interviews. Got another banger for you guys today. We are joined by Garfield and Randy of the band One Day Alive. Guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for taking your time to hang out with us today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Thanks, Fuzz, for having us.
Yo, absolutely, man. It's my pleasure. So we're gonna talk about everything One Day Alive, excuse me, including the newest single you guys got out, So Alive. It's available now. Check your streaming platforms for availability, and we'll get to all that in just a bit. I'm going to start with you guys each individually. I'll start with Garfield. I'll start with you. What originally got you into wanting to be a musician? What got you started?
I was actually a drum tech for my father's band back in the 80s when he wore the spandex and had the big hair and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in San Diego, California.
All right.
So my father was in that scene with Rat and Mind Riot, Dio, every band that was in that area.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dad's friends. So he was in a band called Teaser, which is Jakey Lee,
Yep.
Ozzy's. He left my dad's band to go join Ozzy.
Yep.
So that's how I started. I was just a drum tech for my father's band, and just sat and watched everything. And a couple rehearsals. Ty was late for practice, and I just got up and started playing the songs, and realized, oh, I can play drums.
Like, I can do this. This is great. Randy, what about you, bro?
What got me playing?
Yeah.
Man, I just I had older brothers, like a lot of us. They were all my oldest brother was a singer, and my next oldest brother was a guitar player, and just being around that all the time kind of launched me into singing. My oldest brother, he was a lot older than me, so he passed away in a car accident when I was in my early teens, and I think I kind of stepped into his role, wanting to be like him when I was young, and I actually turned out I could kind of sing, so it worked out. Right before his accident, I wanted to be Nikki Sixx really bad when I was little. He was all over my brother's wall, I was like, man, that guy's so cool looking. And I had a bass guitar for like 3 months, a black bass.
Yeah.
And I traded that in for my first little speaker and a microphone.
There you go.
About a year later. Yeah.
I've been hearing that I wanted to be Nikki Sixx thing a lot, man. A lot of people wanted to be Nikki Sixx, man.
I mean, I was like 10 years old, man, and he had like the face paint going on, he was so cool looking, and he had the dark hair, and I was a little bit different. All the people on my brother's wall, most of them had like all the blonde hair, and then there was Nikki Sixx, and he had like war paint and dark hair. I was like, that's my guy.
Legs on fire and shit. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, there you go.
So let's give the other boys. Why don't you guys introduce the whole band to the interwebs, and we'll give them a little shout out because they're not here, and then later on maybe we'll talk some shit about them because they're not here.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they. So our bass player Scott, he's busy today. He was going to be in, I think, and at the last minute he couldn't make it. So we got Scott Ryan on bass and vocals, and all of us write. So we're all writers here, and Tony Russamano, our Italian guitar player. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where he's at. I think he's just generally kind of antisocial. So he pops in every now and then. He may show up. I don't know if you talked to him, Garth. No, I don't know. He may show up in here. If he's watching and he hears me calling him, he may jump in.
That's all right, man. We're the more the merrier. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna text him.
So I'm gonna do a fast five real quick. These are 5 questions that kind of give like rapid fire answers to. See how good you guys are. You ready?
Oh boy.
We'll start with Randy this time, and then we'll go Randy and Garf, and we'll go back and forth. All right. So Randy, favorite show you've ever seen?
My Chemical Romance.
Garfield.
I'm gonna say Avenged Sevenfold.
Randy, what's your favorite album of all time?
3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, you guys are killing these, man. Randy, the name of your first band?
Fractured Mirror.
Garfield?
Chaos.
All right.
Oh, that's a lot cooler. That's a
The
cool name.
first album you ever bought as a kid.
Slave to the Grind.
Nice.
Master of Puppets.
Yeah, man. And this one's always good. Randy, I want your most memorable stage oops.
Oh man. Okay, so I was in a town just south of Indianapolis playing in a band, Crazy Fly. I played in for years, cover original band.
Yep.
We played a Halloween show, probably 1,500 people, and we opened with Shout at the Devil. We were doing a cover for that one, and I came flying out on stage, and I had to go 4 feet in the air, man.
Damn.
Boom, right on my back. I remember seeing the bass player, Butch Time. He was just like, oh, as soon as I hit. So, yeah, I kind of recovered. I jumped up, got everybody going.
There you go.
So I definitely, I was sore for about 3 days after that.
Yeah. Garfield, what about you, bro?
I was playing with a national artist probably about 10 or 12 years ago. And we were down in Little Rock, Arkansas, playing a venue down there. And we had backline, which is basically you just show up and the equipment's all there for you.
Sure.
You bring a stick bag and fly in and do the show and fly out. The drums that I was playing, I don't know the best way to say it. They weren't the best of the best of the best. Let's just say it that way. And as I'm playing them, they just kick drum, totally just split in half. Done. So we had to stop the show for about 10 minutes, grab the opener's drum set, and boom, go over and take off from there.
Wow.
He hits hard, man. I mean, you can't even rehearsal sucks with him. So I could definitely see that happening for sure.
All right, I'm going to start with Garfield this time. Let's talk about some of your influences. Who are some of your early influences when you first started coming on?
Man, I was a big Tommy Aldridge fan, just for like Dio, not Dio, but Ozzy and Whitesnake. I'm basically giving my age away talking about that stuff, but those guys right there. A little bit of Neil Peart, John Bonham. Those are my influences on drums. The music itself, like right now today, I'm very much into like Seven Dust. There's another band that's kind of like a label mate to us called Dark Below, which I'm really jamming on them right now. And I'm not just pushing them because they're part of us, but they got a song right now called Human. That's unbelievable. If you can check it out.
Down, man. They got a really,
they're
really
awesome. Sound. So I'm bragging on them.
What was the name of that band again?
Dark Below. I Hate Being Humans, the name of the song. Actually written by Malcolm Springer and them.
I'll check that out, man. Yeah, I had to write it down. Randy, what about you, man? Influences, younger influences.
Man, like I said, I had older brothers. So, my oldest brother's 12 years older than me and that. So one of my big influences that really got me wanting to sing was actually Sebastian Bach. I remember seeing him, my big brother watching like their videos, and that dude come out like Youth Gone Wild, I was like,
you got any old pictures there, Randy?
Yeah, I know. I looked like him for a while.
Exactly. Looked like a little clone.
The hair, it just happened, You can't control how your damn hair grows. I had great man hair, and but yeah, he was just like really made me go, that's what I want to do, But writing, there's differences, I guess, for influence. Like, I write. So, but Scooter Ward from the band Cold, believe it or not, is actually, we're a little different style than them, but he's like one of my all-time, like, holy cow, man. His vocal melodies and choice of lyrics, are incredible. I think he's extremely underrated as a songwriter. He's one of my favorite for sure. And stage, man, some of the cool things. My Chemical Romance, like, I know they're totally different than the other ones I named, so it's kind of crazy. I'm all over the place, but those guys, man, when I saw them, they were a huge influence. Like, I took from that, like, man, I don't have to sound like this, and I don't have to sound like that, because those guys were just totally different,
Sure.
So I got a few people I kind of, you get influenced by, you take from without even knowing.
Like Creed.
So, Randy, let me ask you this: is there any new music or new artists out that have your ear right now?
Man, to be honest, I've heard a few. I can't name names. We've been writing for like, it seems like 10 years, and it's really been, I guess, a year. But I try not to really listen to anything unless it's by accident, because I'll get stuff stuck in my head, and then I'm going, wait a minute, is that melody? Did I hear that, or is that mine? So I've been really like late to he listens to stuff all the time. And he's always telling me like, man, yeah, I hear this new band, or I heard, this song. And I'm a little bit, I kind of lock myself away from hearing things when we're writing.
No, that makes sense. So let's dig into the band a little bit. When did you guys first get together?
So that's probably going to be me. This incarnation of One Day Alive is been close to 2 years. Tony and I met. Tony started One Day Alive some years back, and I think they kind of dissolved, but he wanted to revive it some years later, and I got a call from a guy who knew me from the scene that was like, I was kind of like flat and not playing for a while. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore,
Right.
And he's like, man, you got to check this guy out. So I went out to an audition in which I almost canceled at the last minute. And I met Tony, and he was kind of just jamming with some guys trying to piece it together. And he was like a phenomenal. I mean, as soon as I heard some of the stuff he was writing on guitar, I was like, God. So I told him, I was like, man, I'm with you, whatever you want to do. And him and I started, basically, it was really just kind of him and I for the most part. And we started writing some stuff on acoustic, and we got the song called Nowhere. And I brought it. I've known him since I was a kid. I've known Garfield since I was a little kid, man. He's always kind of a big music mentor. So he's the first to tell me, you're stupid. I don't know what you're hearing. That sucks. So he's the guy that I can bring it to. And so I brought him the song, man. And he was like, much to my surprise, he was like, man, this is like, you're right. Cause I was like, man, I feel like I'm playing a cover song or something here. And then he was like, yep, it's great. So I asked him to come lay down some drums, because we didn't have a drummer at the time for a demo for it. And he just it ended up, he was like, man, I'm your new drummer, basically. Here we go. He can elaborate more on his thoughts there, because I'm not in his head, but he just kind of come out of the booth and he's like, all right, man, you got a drummer. So let's do this.
Drummers are like stray cats. You feed them once, they're always going to be around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, they're demanding. I mean, they don't play around. And then Scott, our bass player, Scott, he was actually, before we had wrote Nowhere and kind of turned into this version of One Day Alive, Scott came out for like an audition and jammed around with me and Tony. He played a little bit with us, and he lives far. God, he's like near the border of West Virginia, isn't it? He's out there. And things were slow going. We couldn't really get it together at first, so he kind of, politely was like, man, it's just too far for me at this point. And when the time came and all this started happening, we gave him a call back, and he was like, I'm in.
Oh, that's cool. So, all right. So a couple of years back, so if my math is correct, you guys basically formed during the pandemic, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. Tony and I started literally like at the beginning of the first, when everything was shutting down, you couldn't go anywhere, when it was like hell. So how did that,
aside from like gigs and touring and all that stuff, how did that affect the band?
In my opinion, I don't think we'd be where we're at or where we're heading if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah, it gave us a lot of time to record, a lot of time to learn each other and know each other.
As far as the industry, the label people and, things like that, industry professionals, they weren't out either. They're at home. I think they were scouting for stuff, like you would, they're doing their job. So they're looking for alternative methods to, find bands or, whatever they're doing. And it was easier to get attention at that time and to contact people. People were so much more like, they're just sitting there bored on their phone. You kind of, you go send somebody a message that you normally wouldn't want to send a message to, an A&R rep or something, then you're very likely to get, hey man, I'll check it out,
Right. So, we lost him. All right. So he'll be back. So, yeah, it seems like with the pandemic, it seems like, I mean, there was a couple good things that came out of it. It was like
Yeah.
more podcasts and people wrote a shitload of music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That seems to be the two good things that came out of it. Anyways, like this whole thing that I'm doing was born out of the pandemic.
Right, man. And that's what I said. Everybody was like, man, I don't know. You guys are doing this now. I mean, what are you going to do? And I kind of saw it as an opportunity. I was like, man, everybody's at home.
Sure.
All the industry professionals are online. Like, everybody's going to be more accessible, I think. And it worked out for us, man. I mean, we did the revision of Just Tonight first to kind of test the waters. And we didn't even permit. We were like, hey, we're gonna put up a song tomorrow. And I mean, we got like over 500,000 streams, and
wow.
It just kind of took off. And that let us get the attention a little bit of Jason Knoll from Saving Abel.
Oh, cool.
And, we sent him some stuff, and he was like, man, I remember him saying, he's like, man, you guys got legit potential hits, singles here. And he was like, how about I come up and produce you guys, you want to work? And we were like, yeah. And I personally was kind of like, I don't know, man, got Saving Abel. You think he's really going to come up here? And, we're just some dudes from Cincinnati, we haven't done anything at that point. And here he come, man. His little ass came in and made some great songs and played.
The whole family.
Yeah, man. We're all, it's like a big family event now when he comes up. So
that's good.
He
man.
definitely helped kind of shape our direction of where we're going. Sure. I mean, when you got somebody with success like that standing behind you, it's an honor, and it does a lot for you. It helps.
He's got the biggest heart in the world, man. For such a Southern guy, his heart. He just unbelievable person. Jason is.
Yeah, he is.
So you mentioned the single Just Tonight. Tell me a little bit about that one.
So I left him out. Tony and I are big fans of that band. Sorry, man, these allergies are killing me right now. Are big fans of Pretty Reckless too, and we were being told at that time, we were talking to a manager, and he's like, man, you guys are coming out, he's like, remakes and stuff like that are a big thing right now. People really like hearing it. And, COVID, it was COVID time. So we were all like searching around. I was like, man, a lot of the stuff I write has kind of, even if it's upbeat and rocking, if you listen, a lot of my lyrics kind of got a little bit of a darker undertone to them. And she's phenomenal at that. Pretty Reckless is great at that. So I heard that, and I was like, man, that would be really a cool song. Like I could really attach myself emotionally to that song, and I was a little scared because, it's Taylor, and she's like beautiful and a girl, and everybody's going to have this ugly dude, with their diehard fans singing her song. They're going to be like, screw off.
Yeah,
but it was received really well, much to my surprise.
Plus, not too many bands, male singers do female covers. It's usually the other way around.
And they warned me. They were like, I don't know, man. You better be ready. You better be ready for the hate comments. But I think I only got a couple of them.
That's good. So you guys, that was followed up with in 22 with bringing on the pain, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, November.
Tell me something about that song. What's that about?
So Bringing on the Pain was we were in the studio with Jason, and I think we were working on another track. I don't remember what track it was at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, a song that's not out yet that we don't know if it's going to be on the album or not. And Jason was there jamming this riff, man, and he's like, from what I remember, I heard it, and I kind of had an instant kind of melody, and we were like, man, he's like, that's really good, man. He's like, we got to do something with that. Like now, I think he went in on the spot. Pretty much, we stopped, and he laid down a scratch for the guitar, and I took it. I got it emailed to me and took it home and listened to it a few times and wrote some lyrics out. And I think the very next day we went on the next session and pretty much cut it cut this, you know, the demo, the scratch versions and everything. And that song just, it came together quick. Meaning it's I like to leave a lot to people, you know, because everybody takes from it.
Absolutely.
But it's kind of, you know, for me, it's about, you know, you're online, you hear everybody saying the big word right now is he's toxic. She's toxic. That person's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're with the person 2 hours later. So I think we're all kind of addicted to that toxicity just a little bit, you know? So it's kind of a dramatization of that, of like, man, you know, why am I crazy about this girl that lies and goes out? And, you know, the ones that make you the most crazy are the ones that you end up, you know, fighting them.
I know them all too well, believe me.
Yeah, you're like, you don't want to let go of them. And it's like, why? What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And that's basically, you know, that's pretty much what the song's kind of about. You know, if you listen to the lyric content, it's a little, like I said, undertone, you know, everything's a lie and he knows it, but you know, he still wants her there so bad. I taste blood when you kiss me, but you swear that you bless me. That's kind of, you know, the gist of it there.
Mm-hmm. So now bringing on the pain, that actually ran up the secondary rock chart, did it not?
Yeah, we've hit as of right now we're at 13 actually on the charts, top 50.
That's got to be that's got a big boost to you guys, right?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I didn't expect. I know we got like we were number one most added. Like, I mean, the first report came out, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then the second week it popped in, and I don't know, we were like in the high 50s or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the second reporting week or third week it came in, I think we were at like 20 in the where were we? Like top 20 or something like that.
33, 25, 20, then 15.
Yeah, it just keeps climbing up, man. And then we hit 13. We're 13 last week.
Nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, how was that for you guys? You guys have probably been like, holy shit, you know? It's like,
yeah, man, I celebrated. I played some wicked Call of Duty that night.
Oh, man. So, one thing I did notice, like when Garfield sent me the message to you guys, I try to do as much research as I can and kind of listen to as much of your music as I can.
Right.
So I kind of get the vibe of you guys. But like the one thing I noticed was that for being a 2-year-old band, a newer band, let's say, you guys, I mean, the one thing I noticed was your Facebook numbers are like ridiculous.
Yeah, man, we are freaking. I'm glad you said that because we are just like, we are blessed to have the fans and people we do. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know how. I mean, they're all over. I mean, they're in Sweden.
Sure.
They're in Canada, Mexico. I mean, everywhere. And everybody's active. Everybody's always commenting. And man, you know, we want to see you in Texas. We want to see you in Stockholm. We want to see you. So it's wild to us. I mean, when you think about it, we're a couple guys that were locked away for 1.5 years during COVID and started a band. And then we come out, man, you can go back outside and there's all these people all over, you know,
that's awesome.
All our social media and just all over the world. So it's like, wow.
It's the people are unbelievable. I mean, I can't explain it. The word fan, I kind of don't like saying it.
I know. Me neither.
They're more like family because they share everything. They push you. I mean, I don't know how many times I see shares from this person, that person, this person. I mean, we got people who are editing videos for us. Brandon,
man, he's our video guy.
I mean, these guys are people just check us out, jam with us, and hey, can we help you? I'm like, yeah, let's see what you can do, and bam, we got a whole squad of people who just listen to us that want to help.
You have a couple of like officially, you know, become part of the team and really work with us, you know. So he's right. It's wild.
Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte. You know, she's great. I mean, we got all these. You kind of get to know. I mean, there's so many, but it's like, I know. Oh, there's Susan. Hey, there's Derek. Hey, you really start to remember them on there too.
Sure.
And the availability, how they can just reach out and touch you. Hey, what are you doing? And it's like, and it's like texting you. It's just crazy how this is now. 15 years ago,
one of them just reached out and touched me.
I think being accessible is the key to that. You know what I mean? Like, I think fans relate to that shit more when you like, you don't hide yourself backstage. You make yourself accessible to people, and like you said, that feeling. Like, I don't call people that watch the show viewers. I don't call them listeners. The people that listen to the show, to me, they're all my degenerates, and I love every one of them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're just our people, man.
Yeah,
Those are our
exactly.
people, you know.
So,
I understand. I understand the Kiss Army, what that really means now.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Or the Juggalos. The Juggalos are another. I mean,
Yeah, right.
extremely loyal. I mean, they're out of their fucking minds, but they're extremely loyal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, um, the newest single now is "So Alive."
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that one. When did you guys write that, and how long did it take to write?
That song actually was meant for one of your previous guests. It was actually meant for Josie Scott from Saliva.
Okay.
We were working with his producer also, Malcolm Springer, down in Nashville,
yeah.
Tennessee. Actually, he's the one that mixed "Bringing on the Pain,"
Mhm.
our second to the last release.
Gotcha.
And we were down there with him, and he was talking about it. He says, "Hey, we got to write something newer for you guys. Let's see what we could do." And he says, I had a song that Josie's management passed on. That him and Kate, we totally forgot about Casey there, Randy. Casey Williams, he's our other guitar player. Casey and Malcolm wrote this song for Josie, and they passed up on it. So me and Randy were down there doing something. I don't know. We were working on something. Actually, I don't even know what we were working on, but we were down in Nashville working on this, and he brought it up like, "Hey, I got this other song." At the time, it was called Super Dog or something like that.
Yeah. That can't happen.
Yeah, we're not going to use no Super Dog name, which is probably why Josie passed on it, because of the goofy name. But me and Randy took it back up here to Cincinnati, and we kind of brought it into the studio up here that we use, and we kind of rewrote it. We used a lot of stuff that they had, but we made it ours.
It's very,
made it
very different musically.
Yeah,
there were no vocals or lyrics or vocal melodies or anything. It was kind of an instrumental piece at the time.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I love the chorus on it, what sold me on it, the way the guitars and stuff were working. Yes. So, like I said, we brought it up here. We made it sound like us. We put our touches on it. We sent it back down to Malcolm, let them do what they do down there, and wow, there it is. It came out within on the 24th of February is when
the song was a bitch to write to, though.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Scott are like passing it back, like, man, I don't know, where's melody, that timing, that change on there, man, my God. But yeah, so that song is super cool, and it's one that at first I was like, man, I don't know. So yeah, it's just, I don't know if this is a me thing, But one of our other engineers, Rick, man, I remember he's just kind of like, dude, he's like, you've got songs where you sing. Don't think so much. Don't sing good. He's like, just like feel something, say something. So it's a different song for me. It's not like it's not a typical stylistically what I would do vocally. But I really, really like it a lot. I mean, I was blown away by what it turned out to be. So,
yeah, exactly that. Rick Andrews from Group Effort, by the way, give him a shout out. Yeah. He basically said that exactly to Randy. Make a statement, make this something different, and it came out to be that. Have you heard it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you guys have any plans for like a tour, or are you guys gonna put out a full length album? What's next for you guys?
Well, right now we got another single coming out at the end of this month, March 31st, called Nowhere, which is the first song he was talking about. The reason why this version of One Day Live's here. That comes out on the 31st. Hopefully everybody gets pre-sales out, available now. If you want to check it out, go iTunes, Spotify. It's all ready to go. But
right now, man, they take a minute, so they're all out there, linking us up and finding who we fit with and all that good stuff. So, but it's coming soon.
It's in the works right now.
I just gotta shh.
That's good. So, all right, I'm going to ask you guys both separately because So this is one of the last questions I usually ask, and I've been asking everybody. Give me your worst gig story, and I mean like dig deep. Don't throw anybody under the bus. Let me preface by saying that.
What was the question?
Give me your worst gig story, because I'm trying to get one that will beat the top one so far. It was by Lily Gruber from Defeated Sanity. He's got the number one gig story right now, and I won't tell you what it is until afterwards. But I'll start with Garfield. Give me your worst gig story.
Wow. Worst gig story.
Is there any time you forgot to wear pants on stage?
Yeah.
I'm wearing pants right now.
I'm gonna say my worst gig story actually involves somebody else.
They can remain nameless. You could just say them or her or he or.
It's probably me.
No. It was I was playing a show with another band, and we were in the middle of the show, and doing what we were doing, we had sets. We would do 3 sets a night for an hour set.
Yep.
So in between sets, we're standing out talking to people in the crowd and all that stuff. And my guitar player, his wife was a Bengal cheerleader, Cincinnati Bengal cheerleader.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that one of the people there decided to touch on her, mess with her, and while he was standing there, and it basically turned into a 5 guys versus 300.
All right.
And show ended. We booked on out of there. I would say that's probably my worst.
That's not bad. Not bad. Randy, what about you?
I didn't have anything like that, but when I was young, with one of my first bands that were kind of, got my name out there, was my best friend and bass player at the time. He was kind of crazy, tweaked. And I remember playing, we did a cover song. It was like White Zombie, man. And we were just going nuts. I'm really active on stage. And like I came down as he was down coming up and split me in the eye, busted my eye up. And then he liked to drink a lot. So I don't know if it was from the commotion of going down and going up and him drinking after he hit me. Well, within the span of about 12 seconds of getting hit in the eye with his bass, he came over. He's like, in the middle of the song, "Man, I'm sorry," and threw up down my shoulder, side on the stage. So 15 seconds, I got a black eye and thrown up on. That's about the kind of the most chaotic stage thing I can think of.
That one's good too. So the story to beat, and I probably should stop giving this away on the interviews, but I'll just keep saying it. So he said he was, I believe it was Baltimore, Maryland, and he's got a pretty good German accent. So the way he told it was just shocking. He goes, well, we were on the bus in the back of the venue, and we kind of witnessed a murder. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you like, oh my God, what? Like, that's crazy, So he said that there was a couple like crackheads that were arguing over something, and one just took a hammer and started beating on the other one. I'm like, that's the number one story. That's the number one.
That's definitely the worst
story ever. That's gonna be
crazy stuff. We've had stages catch on fire while we were playing and things like that, but I have never seen a murder. That's why.
Yeah, that'd be tough to top. That one's tough to top for sure.
Man, I don't know if that'll get beat.
No, well, you know what? There's got to be another one out there. There's got to be one. I mean, I'm sure like Guar's probably got some really good ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I would imagine.
I don't know. Let's see about that. So, is there anything else? Oh, where did Garfield go?
I think he's having some problems with his connection.
Damn it. So we're towards the end right now. Is there anything that you want to tell? Oh, he's back. Good. He's back. All right.
It's happening.
So do you have anything that you want to tell the folks before we wrap this up, guy?
So we have So Alive out right now. So Alive is just kind of a viewpoint of, I mean, the world's kind of crazy right now. We all know it, right?
Sure.
One man's viewpoint, looking around, seeing what the hell's going on. Mm-hmm. It's a really cool song. It's a different song. It's available on all streaming services. Our video for that comes out. Is there a release date for the video? Or
I would probably say 2 to 3 weeks from now.
next couple weeks, man. Be looking out for that. You can pre-save Nowhere. These were released really close together. This is a great song. It's our first kind of ballad song, ballad-esque. Go check it out. Stream it, man. Hit up all our social media. Say hey to us if you're seeing us for the first time, whatever. Like to meet everybody. I don't know if he's got anything to add.
Working on dates right now as we speak. Hopefully we're out this summer. Hopefully. Man, that's it. I mean, just No Alive. So Alive's out right now, like you said. Nowhere's at the end of the month. Stream them out. Hook us up. What's all the Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, Randy?
Yeah. What?
What's our Facebook, Twitter, and all that handle?
Everything's at One Day Alive.
Yep, I'll give them all at the end. I got them all written down for you guys. So, folks, you can check out One Day Alive and the newest release, So Alive. Check your streaming platforms for availability. For more info, check out onedayalive.com is our website. Facebook, Insta, and Twitter are all at One Day Alive. Check them out on Spotify and Reverb Nation. Check your streaming platforms for availability, and go to youtube.com/OneDayAlive to check out their videos.
Yeah. Fuzz, thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks, bud.
An absolute pleasure. You guys are welcome anytime, and come back and see us again, man. We'll do it again
for sure.
Looking forward to it. I appreciate you guys, man. Randy, Garfield, One Day Alive, guys. Thanks, boys.
See everybody soon.